time, hopefully.
Live on. Well, my time is 7.
Yeah, yeah. Did we get the audio right this time and the video right? Because I haven't got that right a single time so far.
I'm on an iPhone 8, so people are probably just trying to read my lips. This is.
Oh man. Anybody in the chat, if you are in the chat, let us know. I think my chat should be live on visible on my screen. So if anybody's here, holler. So I've got my Oracle in front of me, because a couple of people have questioned in the last couple of days whether or not you can run 4-link with the Oracle chassis. You can. It does require 2 new front upper links though, because of where the links mount on the axle mounted servo mount. They're like really far back from the center line of the axle. So I do have a mess of links, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. The factory link measures like 101 millimeters, I think, eye to eye. Yeah, like 101, right around 101 millimeters eye to eye. But I've got a mess of bent links, like super short bent links, and if you can run the factory rod ends, and it comes out to like 86 millimeters eye to eye. Yeah, like 85 and a half millimeters eye to eye on this specific one. So call it 86 millimeters eye to eye, which is fine for the caster angle for like stock type running. But I think I'm going to include the Traxxas, the regular Revo rod ends, because that brings the caster angle back to like a more comp caster angle, and it's like 83 millimeters eye to eye. So like 86 to 83 millimeters just by changing the rod ends to the Traxxas Revo ends. So, and that brought the caster angle back to where like, fairly compy instead of vertical. And it keeps the pinion angles in check. So I think I'll probably post pictures of that and let people know about that tomorrow. What would you consider a comp caster angle? I don't measure the angles. I just kind of like look at it and go, I want my tire to fall on its side more than that. I don't know, what would you call that? 20 degrees ish of caster angle, 20, 25 degrees of caster. I don't know. I've never measured it. I just kind of look at it and go, looks about right.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually never measured myself either.
Yeah. So, but the pinion angle sweep with these upper links is fine. The pinion angle actually stays pretty much the same through the entire sweep. So that's good. You don't get a bunch of swing out of the pinion angle. The only reason for having to change the links is because on the Oracle chassis, I got rid of a bunch of the upper link holes, and I don't have one in front of me. Why don't I have one in front of me? I got rid of a bunch of the upper link holes, not really caring about these last 2 upper link holes here, because this is supposed to be a Class 1 chassis and CMS is required for Class 1. But people have asked or questioned whether you can run axle mounted servo or not, so I had to figure it out. I didn't really care to figure it out, but I did. Chafin, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, there he is.
There he is. Now the whole chat is ruined. Chafin is here.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, are you still in OKC? Or are you back?
I thought he flew home this past weekend. I don't know if he's gone again or not, but I thought I saw he flew back home this weekend.
He's got to tease me and let me know he's in Oklahoma City. I'm like, so close yet so far.
Mm-hmm. Custom RC Crawlers, what's up, Braden? He's He's a Crawler Canyon guy. So, welcome everybody. Wesley is live with us here tonight. Actually, he was the one who started this live stream. It actually works tonight, so I must be doing the the wrong thing to
I'm
get my live streams working.
I'm not getting any high temperature warnings on the old iPhone, so far so good.
Yeah, yeah,
Thermal shutdown.
yeah, yeah. We'll see how long it lasts on your old iPhone. So
Might be upgrading if I'm going to be doing stuff like this more often.
yeah, so I like where is it? I bought a camera, a webcam. Yeah, this guy right here. Uh it's the Insta360 Link, and it's got like a gimbal on it.
Dang, you could like jog around the block with that thing.
Yeah, so like you can mount it like this, and it faces you, and then like you can set presets for like where you want it to face, and like apparently I don't know how to do this, but apparently you can click and make it go to wherever.
Just no
I,
mic.
yeah, it doesn't have a mic, but I have that situation handled also. I just have to actually figure out how to use it all. I think I have the situation figured out. I just have to actually do it.
Yo,
So we'll
Josh, I
see.
saw that comment.
Wesley has the stash. I trimmed mine.
Yo, I
trimmed mine.
can't. I grow in this sad excuse of a beard, so a stash, I guess, is all I got to work with now.
Yeah.
That's all I got going for me these days.
I kept getting food in my mustache. I kept having to wipe pizza sauce out of my mustache, and that's not attractive at all. So
It's the flavor saver, you know.
yeah,
Pizza
exactly.
sauce.
Yeah, it's always something. I'll move this a little closer. So the F10 leaf mounts are selling pretty good. Inventory levels are getting pretty low. Do you re-up on that stuff yet, or what are you doing on that, sir?
The F10s. I'm trying to order some other stuff at the same time. I hate ordering small batches of stuff. I try to group one big batch of multiple products into an order. I can't really go into great detail what I'm going to order, but it will be refreshing.
Cool, cool. TRD, Tim, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for checking in again tonight. Don't know if you caught the very beginning or not, but I was showing the 4-link on the Oracle chassis. It does actually work. Tim and I were talking about it on Messenger earlier this morning about the links, but I got everything all measured out and figured it out. So I will probably take pictures of this stuff tomorrow and post it on the site. It'll be just a pair of front upper links with a set of rod ends. So nothing super fancy, nothing super special. But I suppose if people are interested in an Oracle chassis and want to run axle mounted servo, weirdos. Who runs axle mounted servos anymore? I was telling Tim, I don't think I've ran an axle mounted servo other than my bomber in probably the last 5, maybe 6 years. I haven't had anything that's axle mounted servo. So I just
I'm
don't
trying to get to that. I'm just pushing for that next level.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I'm working on isn't class specific or anything. Especially now since they're not doing scale nats this year, I definitely have no need to be building Sorka trucks. I kind of have huge granite rocks out here that I just want to go vertical on. So
yeah,
behind the axles where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But they're just trail trucks.
My C3 is not axle mounted servo in the front. It's chassis mounted servo in the front. It's axle mounted in the rear, but that doesn't count. I don't count that as running an AMS truck. And realistically, I haven't even haven't even really ran this truck yet. I changed up. I built a bed, and I think I'm going to. Um,
That's all styrene, right?
yeah, this is all. It's all styrene bed. Uh, I think I may go with a narrowed Hilux cab. I already chopped it and narrowed it. I think I may go with a narrowed Hilux cab, but I might order a four door
Mm,
and chop it down to be just extended. You know what I mean?
yeah. If you could replicate that bed, maybe I'll pick up one of them new cliffhanger cabs.
That was the other thing I thought about too, because I've already figured out how I'm going to point this truck out without hard body,
Pretty much
and I've
all
already
interior.
yeah. But the problem is I already built all the interior and everything for an extended cab. I don't know what the heck that audio issue was. You hearing an audio issue?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I already built an interior for a four door extended cab, so I think if I get a four door Mojave body and shorten it and narrow it, I could probably just reuse that interiors, reasonably easily. I can build another one. It's not like it's that big of a deal, but I do want the four, extended cab, two row of seat points, basically. I don't necessarily need the hard body points. Yeah. Yeah,
Yo, I'm with you on
you guys in the
the
chat,
soul
let us
selling
know.
sound.
You guys in the chat, let us know if that audio fixed itself. I think it was just a little fluke issue there, but it did sound like somebody was shitting on themselves.
There's those skeletons. As soon as you pop those out, dude, it all
Yeah,
went
man.
down.
Must be ghosts. Might have to copy your bed for C3. So I don't know if this is C3 legal or not. I've got the rules right here next to me. I haven't done a whole lot of reading through them. I built this bed originally for my class 1 before the rules stated that the body had to fill the rectangle. It said it had to meet the rectangle. So I made it meet the width of what I needed for class 1 and the length of what I needed for class 1 and the drop bed I needed for class 1. But then the rules changed to say you had to fill the rectangle, and this does not fill the rectangle. Oops. I did get my Hyrax LPs mounted on these super narrow, super shafty wheels. They weren't difficult. The first two wheels took about 3 tries each, but after that, they were the last two were one shot and done.
We're all wondering how long that took
How long what took?
to mount those wheels.
Oh, yeah, I mean, realistically, only about half an hour.
Not
So
bad.
it wasn't that bad. So, did you have to use a vise? No, I used my 2 fingers and a regular dynamite driver. It wasn't really that bad. I got the inside lock ring seated on one side of the tire where there was no foam hanging out of it, and then I took a roll of electrical tape. I set the wheel face down, the face of the wheel down on top of this roll of electrical tape, and then I just kind of finagled the tire and wheel around it, and then put the screws in from the back. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I thought it was going to suck. And when the first tire took me 3 tries, I was like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. But
Stock foams and everything, or
yeah, stock foams for now. They feel pretty decent. I put 4 vent holes in each tire, so they feel pretty good.
I just swapped out dual stage foam in those chisels, trenchers after like about a year. The the light truck, they seem to last pretty good.
Yeah, this truck probably will with the Lexan body weighed in the like 4.5 pound range, so it really wasn't a heavy truck at all. And that's with no added weight on anything. I don't run extra brass on usually anything. So Tim, yeah, your Oracle chassis was on point this weekend, Tim. That was a nice run you made, taking home some money with the Class 1 chassis. It's always good. I can't believe our team drivers let Trace come up to Kentucky and beat them at their home course. That wasn't. I think we're gonna have to fire some people.
Reshuffle.
Yep, we might have to fire a couple people. I think there's 4 guys in Kentucky that might need to be fired now.
Well, firing indicates that they're actually getting paid.
True. Restructuring.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I like all those guys. They're all right. They're saved till next week.
Next weekend.
Yeah, we'll see how they do next weekend. If they fail again, then time to get them out of there.
Martin's tearing apart his truck as we speak now. He's
I
restructuring his trucks.
I just shipped a couple of chassis to them today. So, what do we mean when we say Sorka Light? So, basically, there was a group of guys who, a couple of years ago, when the new Sorka rules came out, weren't super pleased with the rules. So they decided to roll back some of the rules or widen some of the gray areas a little bit. So it's basically the Sorka rules, but about half as strict. About half as strict as the regular Sorka rules are, and they did not do the 2023 rule type updates. So if you think about Sorka 2019 rules, that's about what Sorka Light is.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't even know if they made it outside of 2020.
Yeah, I think it's about Sorka 2019.
Yeah.
Paul's in here. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Paul, how's California this time of year? Are you still over there?
I'm hoping a couple of the Hawaii guys will check in. They've got the Hawaiian Isle Crawl Festival this weekend. So I wish I could have made it down there for that. Hawaii is probably nicer than the whiteout snow. When I was coming back to the shop here, it was just about to the point where I couldn't see the end of the hood of my truck. So, snowing. Yeah, when I got here, I had to move a bunch of stuff around in the shop, and I pulled my truck inside, so it's not going to be frozen when I leave here.
Man, it was rough, dude. Today, I had to.
I don't even just stop your sentence.
About 2 o'clock, I had to put on shorts because it was too hot to wear pants.
I don't even. All right, guys. Everybody, good night. I'm out. Man.
Then a month ago, we were frozen inside again. So what? I don't know what the weather is down here.
Yeah.
Basically, got told not to come into work for a week because everything was frozen.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, everyone needs skids, dude. You gotta get those skids.
I do need to make some skids. I need to make some skids bad. They're out of stock everywhere. Well, I think Rock Jock RC, now Rock Titan RC, and Crawler Canyon both have some in stock. And then I don't know. You probably have a couple extras. If you had a couple extras, we can put them on the site. But I need to just make another batch. The last batch I made was 200, and they were gone in 7 days, 8 days. How long did they last? Probably 7 or 8 days. So between what I shipped to you and then what was bought by other vendors or dealers and then customers, they all went like stupid fast. So full suck.
Delrin shavings flying everywhere.
Dude, it's bad. I'm buried in Delrin.
You need to smelt them down and then compact them.
I wish it was recyclable. It's a thermoform, a thermoset plastic where basically once it's in a form, you can't melt it back down again. It just burns. So like it does melt, but it burns when it melts. So you can't really reuse it. It's not like HDPE or anything where you can reuse it.
Mold, pack it down in there with some resin.
Yeah, make
It'd be forged Delrin.
forged Delrin body panels. I thought about it. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I've got Delrin shavings in the mill. I've got steel and aluminum. I've got probably I've probably got 20 55-gallon drums of aluminum shavings and 5 or 6 drums of steel shavings from the lathe
You
over
wouldn't
here
even
too.
you wouldn't even need to paint it. It already looked like a bass boat.
Pretty
Looked kind of
much.
cool.
Hmm. Yeah. The aluminum and steel shavings from the lathe are pretty stringy and pretty wild, so it'd probably be pretty difficult to get that stuff smooth. But the Delrin chunks and the aluminum out of the mill are pretty soft. So, like, I've got a box of aluminum shavings over there under a workbench somewhere from the mill that I was going to build a countertop for my camper out of. Just basically, like a resin epoxy pour, whatever, epoxy countertop, whatever. But it's like big, long, thin aluminum chunks, basically, millings. But like it's super soft. Like you think about it's gonna stab you, but like it's almost like confetti feeling. It's super soft for whatever reason. However that worked out, whatever my feeds and speeds were at the time, it's super soft. It actually feels like confetti. But I was gonna make a countertop for my camper, but I never got around to it. So I probably need to just get rid of it because now it's in a box under my workbench.
That's where all the good stuff is.
Yeah, I can see underneath my workbench over here, and it just reminded me of something. Um, I just saw a little bit ago. I got an email about the associated DR10s, the drag cars. If you buy a DR10 right now, they give you the little mini, like DR24 or a DR18, whatever it is, the little tiny one for free. So that's kind of cool.
Trying to get rid of those.
Yeah, probably because nobody ever bought them. Yeah, just give those away. Get it out of here.
Tired of looking at that.
Yeah, pretty much. So, at any rate, I don't know if I'm going to keep this thing 4-linked or not. I probably will not. Because I don't feel like installing a servo. I left the servo mounted in the CMS mount, so I will probably take this back apart tomorrow morning and put it back the way it was now that I've figured out what has to be done for people to run 4-link on it. And because I don't like 4-link, so. What are you working?
Isn't that Jason's favorite link? Is the 4-link?
Yeah, pretty much. So, what are you working on this week? Anything fun?
RC wise, I am actually kind of caught up on. Kind of finished this truck here. Some secret sauce under that body.
Drive it first. No, I'm not going to drive it first. I don't like axle mounted servos. Put it back the way I had it. I liked it that way. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Secret sauce under that body you can't show off.
I am embarrassed about my rear shocks at the moment, though. I need some. I think I need some 80 mil shocks. I think what I have, all I have right now, things I made.
Those are little guys.
Yeah, these are little. Those are too little. But the other shocks that I put on there are too big. Maybe 100 plus mil.
Yeah, I've got 80s.
Takes Takes me back to 2015.
Yeah, I've got 80s on the Class 3. It seems like it has enough travel for me, for my liking, especially when you compare the rear, front and rear. It's about 2/3 of a big tire, so 2/3, 3/4 of a big tire, somewhere in there. So it should be fine.
You're kind of selling me on those wheel tire combos.
I like the tire. Um, I need to make a wheel though. Just something about running somebody else's wheels when I'm able to make wheels. Almost done swapping from a high-low to what'd that say? To a C1 Pro. The live chat disappeared on me. Almost done swapping from a high-low to a ATL Pro for Class 3. Cool. I ran my ATL Pro in Class 2 last year. It'll work great for a Class 3. But anyway, yeah, I've got Hibby's rotors mounted behind these wheels. It's kind of hard to see them behind these big wheels. But I got a set of black rotors in there. So I will spend some time with this. Hopefully, the weather's supposed to get a little better in the middle of the week, so I'll probably spend some time with this the middle of the week or so. I guess I wanted to already be driving it, but the weather just turned to shit. So
You could just mail it down here, dude. I could probably run it every weekend.
probably could, but then I wouldn't want to.
But if you have something that's temp sensitive, we'll find out if it overheats real quick.
Harley's just here to protest leaf springs. I'm with you, Harley. Oh man, that's all Wesley's fault. You can blame Wesley. Do you have a set of axles with leaf springs on them, or with the leaf perches on them, right there, handy?
A couple of days ago they were on this truck, but it is not the case anymore.
I mean, not mounted on a truck. You just got them on the bench somewhere.
Like the which perches or
Yeah, just got a set of perches you can show off.
yes, somewhere here.
Let's just watch Wesley dig through his toolboxes.
Hey, that's accurate though.
They all boxed up somewhere.
Yeah, they're actually in the other room. I thought I had a loose bit here.
They're probably somewhere.
Oh, they're definitely somewhere.
Those leaf mounts are going to make F10 sales skyrocket.
Yeah, man.
Much to Harley's chagrin.
Harley, it's gonna be sad because it's gonna be a bunch of skilled people.
a bunch of what does Matt call them? No, what does Matt call them? Trail trucks or something that really gets Josh going. They're a trail truck, not a crawler. They're a trail truck. Here, I just said that I don't run brass on anything, and I've got a big old set of brass weights. And the funny thing is these big old brass weights came out of these Vanquish KMCs, and they fit in here barely, but they do. And I went to put them inside these Super Shafty 2.2s, and they hit the damn bolts on the inside, so I couldn't put them on. I was gonna put them on the rear because the weight bias of this truck is pretty forward. So I was gonna put them on the rear to help balance the truck out a little bit, and they don't fit inside the damn wheels. These big old super shafty, narrow offset wheels, and they don't fit. So I can either fire up this thing behind me and fiddle fart around with making them fit, or I can just order something that will do what I need it to do instead.
Finally, Doug, I just went and opened. There's the spring over, and then the spring under. A little different.
Cool. There it is.
They're all hand bent, stainless steel. Took quite a bit of time, if you might be wondering, but came out good.
Cool.
And they're thin enough to where, because the VP axles have that widened area for the shock, you could still fit a Traxxas ball end.
Yeah, so that was
between that.
So that
So
was
you
one
still
thing.
have your standard stock or shock mounts.
Yeah, so that's one thing we talked about when Wesley was designing them. I said, the Vanquish, like the Phoenix shocks, have a wide ball end on the bottom. They got like a spacer on the bottom of them. So if you could make the leaf mount fit inside the shock where the shock mount goes, so then all you got to do is pop that extended pivot ball out and put a standard pivot ball in, and still be able to run a shock if you wanted to be done with it, and then not have to fiddle around.
Yeah, we're definitely caveman over here, Josh. The prototype ones, I could show you the vise. I had a hammer, and I would hammer, and then I realized that was quickly not the ideal way to do that.
That's not the way to do this. It'll work for prototypes, but that's not how you want to make them to sell them. So yeah,
nylon Matco hammer that I paid probably like $60 for, just for hammering this stuff over.
Oh man,
Mini brakes, love the mini brakes.
Yeah, those little 4-inch vice brakes are fantastic for doing small parts like that, low volume small parts like that.
Mine, I actually think I need to. I do so many of these, and the TGH mounts and all the other stuff. The edge on mine is actually showing substantial wear. So,
no,
I'd
the
like
prototypes.
to
The prototypes weren't made of wood; those were chiseled out of stone with another stone.
Caliche, that's what we have down here. I'll use Caliche rock.
Chiseled out of stone by hand by a man with a mustache.
Mustache. Oh man.
This is the shit that goes on behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's all seriousness over here. Now we're just playing around, man.
Yeah, we just make fun of each other through text message. Just politely bullying each other all the time through text message. That's what we do.
Most of the time, it's hard to realize what is sarcasm or if he's mad. But then if it comes from Brett, chances are he's just giving you crap.
I am fluent in sarcasm and curse words. Sometimes I'm sarcastic enough that I don't even know if I'm joking or not. So that's always cool.
I have to reread the text messages I send you. I'm like, did that come across? Is he gonna pick that up a wrong way?
Nope. Not even a little bit. Oh, obviously I still have this Oracle in my hand. I want to know realistically how many people are going to want to buy this, what is touted as a Class 1 chassis, and want to run 4-link. Like, I didn't think there was going to be anyone, but I've seen it pop up 5 or 6 times now from different people wanting to run 4-link with it, where they're like, it won't work with 4-link. I mean, it does, it will. You just have to have
You're
these links.
This is part of your plot this whole time. Tell people they can do something, and then they're
I
gonna want
never
to do it.
I never said you can't. I just put on the
uh,
web. I put on the website that it was designed around CMS. So apparently that meant to people that you can't run four link with axle mounted servo. Which now, granted, I did get rid of a couple of the mounting holes that where that mounts. From the factory. The factory, the instructions want you to mount the front upper link in like this third hole for four link because the servo mount mounts the link so far back, and I got rid of those on the Oracle chassis. I can go grab one. I've got one over there, but I didn't. I've got the truck.
is
So
that is that under the bench as well?
no, it's on the other bench.
Oh,
See, the the thing
okay.
the thing about my shop is I have about 300 square feet of workbench area, and it's pretty much all covered in something between engine parts and crawlers and parts and
You,
works
you
in
know what they
progress.
say
And
about horizontal work surfaces?
they
Just another
it's another
shelf.
shelf. Yeah. Well, and every single square foot of workbench has at least one shelf underneath it, and
Yep.
that's full of
Don't
shit
let me
as
fool
well.
you. This was not this clean earlier. Horizontal surface, full.
See, there's about 6 inches between where you guys can see and the desktop surface. There's a truck in front of me right now, so uh, you can't see it, but this entire table is full of stuff too. So, still want to try it. Still want to try axle mounted servo. Why though? Why
Because you
though?
said you can't.
I never said you can't. I said I
Non-recommended.
said I said I don't.
Would not suggest.
I designed it, so I can tell you what I think you should
The
run on it.
the the same thing with those F10 mounts. That rear, that T10 or whatever axle with the slight deviation and angle. It said not recommended, and then like the first like four comments were, "Can I run this Toyota
Yeah,
axle?"
yeah. Why I don't, Josh? Why did you guys make the F10T rear link mounts a different angle than the rest of the damn F10s? Like,
I could I could DM you pictures if you don't know what I'm talking about because I was kind of frustrated after the fact.
yeah, could have just made them all the same, but no, had to be just a little bit different. So,
It's like 2 millimeters. Yeah, it's literally not much, but just enough to pitch a caster or yeah, that'd be the pinion angle
the pinion
up,
angle, yeah.
which realistically, like my little FJ40, the pumpkin on that thing is like not a 40-degree angle, but it's pretty up there, but it doesn't really matter, at least on that
It's
truck. But
it's not like they're full of oil and need to oil the pinion bearings.
yeah,
So,
that's
it
yeah.
kind of is what
You're
it
not
is.
starving. You're not starving that front bearing.
No,
If anything, you're
no.
keeping all the water from the trails you go on that
Oh,
bearing. It's actually a good
away
thing.
from that bearing, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But um, rather than run into that issue where somebody says the pinion angle's all jacked up, we just say that it's not recommended for that specific axle. If somebody wants to put them on there, they can, and it'll fit.
It's
But
doable.
yeah, they'll fit. It just looks a little different than what you would typically want to see. So
Yeah, and you'd probably shorten your wheelbase maybe a quarter inch. I don't even know if it'd be that
I
much.
I doubt it would even be that much, but kind of is what it is. I don't think they knew they were different. Probably a machining clearance for the style. Yeah, I mean probably, but
It definitely looks better, but just annoying for that one particular axle to be different.
yeah, could be just how they had to do it for you know clearances of something else, but whatever.
Did it for the scaleness.
They did it because they knew people were going to put leaf springs on it. It's like it was made for it.
Yeah.
It's got built-in wrap, so you just it's already wrapping the leaf springs up.
Active wheelbase. That's how my. Did you ever see the Forerunner when I did the portal leaf springs? And climb up something and the front axle would
The front end
stretch out like a quarter inch.
yeah, with the TRX4 portal on the front.
It actually worked out. It was kind of cool sometimes because it would it'd like latch on and the tension, the springs would come undone and actually pull the truck up in certain spots. It's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah. Had that axle done for over 2 years, just sat before we finally pushed it through. Sometimes projects happen like that. If you don't have the extra time or extra machine time or whatever to get stuff done, they just kind of sit. I mean, we sometimes it takes us a while to get a project pushed through. I mean, obviously the SCX10 Pro, we jammed that through real fast, but like the high-low, that was probably a year-long project from conception to finally releasing it to people. I mean, there were 6 or 7 revisions of that before we released it.
We have, well, heck, I just realized there's a few of the prototype frames I gave out at Crawlapalooza in October that we haven't even released yet. I'm thinking still like another month on those.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of customers who have chassis in hand, and obviously team drivers had them before that, but there's a couple of customers that have chassis in hand that haven't been released yet, just kind of giving feedback on them that it's kind of nice having an extra set of eyes on. Our team drivers are all really good about building different style trucks. So, a lot of times when you design something, you have a specific uh, setup in mind, and then somebody tries to build something different on it and runs into an issue. So it's kind of nice having, however many team drivers we have, 18 or 20 or whatever they are. Not everybody has every chassis, but you get feedback from 5, 6, 7 guys, and then it's nice to get a little bit of an outside feedback from some other people as well with other setups. But yeah, since October, and they're still not released yet. So
If you pulled up that file compared to where what version revision 6 or 7 it's on now, it'd be similar, but it wouldn't be very
yeah,
recognizable.
it's not the same.
So if you've seen our drivers running those frames, that's similar, but pretty far away from what's actually going to be hitting the shelves, I guess.
Yeah, that's what makes a good product. Yes, thank you. Next year, what, March of next year's 10 years. So been doing this stuff for 10 years, and I mean, technically about now was realistically about 10 years, but the first actual released chassis would be next year. But we had
I wonder if Rob Gunning could chime in and see if he knows the first laser cut part I ever had made. It wasn't crawler related.
yeah, I know what it was.
You'd have to do a deep dive.
Yeah. It'd be the best worst to test a product living in Montana. Oh, the damn chat disappeared on me. It needs to last longer. What's that?
Is that how it is normally, or is there a?
No, normally I'm using my computer so the chat screen stays up, but when you're on your phone, it just stays up for a few seconds and then disappears. So it's kind of, I have to like read the comment real fast. I'd be the best / worst to test a product living in Montana. Nobody would see it, but finding good spots would be hard too. Yeah, that's the problem I have here is there's no good rock around me to test on. So I kind of rely on my team drivers a little heavier especially during the winter when it's harder. Even there's places a couple hours from here, but like today, it's basically white out snowing. I'm not driving a couple hours to go test something in the snow, especially in whiteout conditions. So,
Do you have snow chains you bought off Amazon that you put on your trucks for conditions like that?
I don't have any hills, so we just go skidding down the road.
Oh, there
I
you
don't
go.
I don't have any issues driving in the snow. I've owned this truck for going on 4 years and I've never put it in four-wheel drive. So,
Cold weather type. Um, just throw that 3D printed parts off their truck. In like 20 degrees.
now they
A
break
few
every
times.
time. Yeah. Squints, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for popping in.
At about
It's
110, the 3D printed parts don't melt. A that's a
yeah.
test
There's
anybody wants to.
there's Jake. It's sunny here and plenty of rock. Yeah, I'd love to be in Hawaii right
Oh
now.
yeah.
I would
I'm not
love
jealous
to
of
be
many
down there.
people's weather, but when Jake posts up those Hawaiian Island pictures, I just tell him to get lost.
Yeah, go away. Yeah, man, the weather looks amazing, but I can't do salt. I don't like salt water. Like I lived in Daytona Beach. I I don't like salt water.
It's the air is thick.
I don't even care about the air. It's just the taste of salt water. Just everything tastes like salt water. You go to the beachside restaurants and everything tastes like salt water. Just it's in the air and it just everything tastes like salt water. I hated it. I lived there for just over a year and I despised every minute of the last 6 months. So
Whenever I go to the Texas coast, you remember the what was that Need for Speed Underground? The first animation where it shows like the engine operating
mhm,
like X-ray. I just think of that, but I think of everything getting flash rusted instead of
pretty
every time I
much,
go to the
yeah.
coast, I'm just everything's getting flash rusted. I can't get it out of the back of my head.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I'm gonna go grab my iPad so I can see the chat a little bit longer. Hang on just a second.
I already lost one truck to the salt. I'm not trying to make that another one.
Where is my freaking iPad?
Scott, do you ever fry any eggs on a pan out there in Arizona?
Oh, now I got to make my way back through my cluttered shop.
I'm just awaiting to hear metal and stuff get stumbled over.
No, it's not that bad, but like I said, I pulled my truck inside here when I got back uh this evening. I went to leave here this evening, so all right. Now I have a little bit more chat window. Hopefully it lasts a little longer than the phone. Last time I crawled at the beach,
No
lost electronics and portal gears and rust everywhere. Yeah,
portal gears, Lord.
I don't I don't take my trucks anywhere near salt water at all, and I personally prefer not to be near salt water either. So I just don't want to have to deal with that whole shenanigan at all.
It's funny. I think I saw a Cletus McFarlane video where he skimmed an X Max across the
Yeah,
body of water by him. I it might be worth noting I haven't seen one X Max video since that film, so I think
that's
that
true.
I think that thing was roasted.
They did a bunch of RC videos for like, a couple weeks and then it kind of just
He did that water thing and then it was gone. I
yeah.
don't, I'm assuming he was like, "Oh, that was salt water.
That was stupid.
I'm
Now
an
it won't even
idiot."
roll. Yeah, now it won't even roll.
He wouldn't even have had to put flotation devices on that truck to save it. He should have just let it go to the bottom.
Yeah.
The batteries are neutralized. I mean, it's all good to go at that
I'm
point.
I'm sure that they probably didn't pay full retail for those either, so
This is very true.
it probably didn't matter a whole lot to them. Uh, yeah. Anyway, these I'm glad I kept all these links. So when I would do the stainless link sets,
Is that from the TRX4 conversion?
no, these were when I did the regular 10-2 link sets, the stainless link sets, I mismeasured the panhard bar
Okay.
and I had like 200 of these made wrong.
Are those all just sitting under a workbench in a box also?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So so when I measured these links on the front of the Oracle for the 4 link this morning, I was like, you know what? I think I have links that will work. So I already have 100 sets of Oracle 4 link front upper links.
Limited quantities, get them while you can.
Blowout prices. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I didn't really care to look. It didn't really matter at the time whether I measured wrong or whether they made them wrong. And I didn't really care because I wasn't planning on including panhard bars in the link kits anyway. So I just never even mentioned it. But I have a bunch of them. And then I also have a different length when I was buying other brands of 4 links. I have a different length of these also that's in a different bin, but I don't have nearly as many of those. I think I've got like 15 or 20 of those when I was buying link kits from someone else and basically rebranding them. But
You
before I
think
started working with the machine shop down the road.
do you think 100 people are gonna buy the Oracle C1 chassis just to put behind axle steering on it?
No, probably not.
Brett's calling out a challenge. Buy the chassis with the 4 link kit.
I might just start including these.
Just sprinkle them in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
every order.
But I also have, I think, 50 bags of the Traxxas 5347 rod ends in a bin over here too. So I've got all the rod ends I would need. I got well more than enough rod ends to do it. So I don't even I don't even remember when I ordered those, but I spent a lot of money on Traxxas rod ends that day. I remember that.
I remember you telling me you bought out the local hobby shop a couple times.
Well, they normally keep 5 or 6 bags on hand, but I ordered 50. So
They're like, wait a sec, what are you doing with all
yeah,
these?
they're like, "Why do you need that many Traxxas rod ends?" I was like, "Just sell them to me. Take my money. Don't. We're not doing this. Just take my money." Oh man, West Virginia crawlers. I would like to go to West Virginia and crawl. I need to take side by sides and go to West Virginia. I went to Insurance Auto Auction, the IAI lot in South Bend this morning with a friend to look at a wrecked Razor that he's interested in bidding on, but I think it's going to go way higher than he wants.
Uh, what do I have back here? Yep. It's just a exploded diagram. My favorite part is the axial 3 gear that Brett hates. I had to point that out.
This is how we bully each other, guys. This right here. He actually put that Brett hates in the technical drawing. of a part.
Uh,
Oh, Jesus. I
that's
swear, man.
actually, don't screenshot that, fellas. That's the newer. Well, man, yeah, that's the newer version of the high low. We got a couple of revisions rolling out for that, but
Wesley keeps his on a wall. I keep mine in a book.
ooh, a book. Oh man. Well,
I
if
even I
only
even wrapped I even wrapped
it, if
my
only I
aluminum
knew
binder.
someone that could make me a wrap, I'd have a fancy folder as well.
I even have an extra one of these aluminum folders
Oh
that
man,
I
I wonder
could
where
wrap
that
and
could
send
go.
you.
That'd be real nice. Somewhere about here.
Yeah.
Be like, ooh, funny you mentioned that, Paul. Let's
Yeah.
see here.
Yeah. I keep component prints inside here.
Ooh. I just keep
And
mine pinned up to a pegboard.
everything is labeled with a program number, like for the lathe. These components that I have in front of me right now in this book, everything's labeled with the program number for the lathe. So all I have to do is look at the tool list. There's 3 pages per print. One has a tool list and tool setup, like the tools stick out and stuff like that. And then one has the material the material specifications, and then the actual part print. So
I keep
try to
mine
keep.
on a pegboard, so when I'm chiseling the rocks for the prototype pieces, the
Uh,
chunks don't hit or fall onto the paper.
yeah, yeah. No, I try to. I've gotten to the point where I'm manufacturing enough parts that I basically don't have an option other than to keep it organized, because if I don't, it'll just get way out of hand way fast. So fortunately and unfortunately, it's a forced um, organization. I try to keep
Yeah.
as much of it in here as I can, but keeping it in
Oh
here
boy.
doesn't help. That doesn't help when you have employees or anything like that. So, yeah.
Should have saw my little area here about a week ago, running about 3 different types of chassis, final test fitting, taking pictures of the F10 spring mounts. It was chaos in here. I
Yeah.
needed that
Let me.
300 square feet of
I'm
workspace you have.
I'm gonna turn the camera around real quick and show you the workbench that I'm staring at right now. So like, there's multiple parts bins, the base camp, the SCX6, all this down here is all parts bins. The
That is an
my
SCX6.
toolbox, like it's just pretty bad. Pretty bad. That's just probably 10, 12 foot of workbench that you saw there that is absolutely covered in shit. So,
I keep this little feller next to me as
oh,
inspiration.
I keep that thing on me too.
Look at all those.
This was my original the chassis that was under my original metal masher truck. Had welded steel bed
Ooh,
supports.
steel. Now we're talking.
Yeah, had welded steel bed supports in it. It still has the upper links mounted to it. I keep that thing. Can't get rid of that.
The I was over at a local friend of mine, Jonathan's, and he pulls out this frame and he's like, "What frame even is this?" It was the last team edition, the one that wasn't the popular one, but it was steel.
Mhm.
He handed me it, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And then
Oh man, it's been a while.
I picked up this truck here, and I was like, "Yeah, they're kind of comparable, just the
Yeah,
steel frame rails."
yeah. Looks like the
Wild.
corner of your living room. My entire shop looks like that.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. On TRD Adventures live stream that Thursday that I joined him, I took the phone and kind of walked around the shop. I'm not going to do that today because I've got too much shit in the way to actually make a reasonable path through the shop without stepping over something because I pulled my truck inside. So
It's
if the
clear
truck,
enough for a vehicle.
yeah, I mean, I was able to get my truck inside, but I had to move my side by side like into the normal path between where I'm sitting and the front door. So
Still a couple customer bikes in there too, I'm guessing.
yeah, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 customer machines in here right now still. So two engine jobs, just more parts and trucks. Yeah. The course was nice. Yeah, I like my little practice course, my little indoor setup, but no, anyway, I've got 2 engine jobs left to get done. I got
Oh,
one, yeah, 2 of them done last week, and the one is gone already, and the other one the guy's supposed to pick up, I think, tomorrow. But I got 2 left, and then
I
I
want
don't
to
believe I'll be doing any more.
I want a show of hands. Who's conquered Hibby Falls?
Josh Hibner has made it up Hibby Falls.
Oh man, is it on
He
video?
no.
No, okay, okay.
But
So
I
he has
did
to do it a second time then.
I did witness it. So he made it. He made it. Man, and that waterfall is pretty deceiving. It doesn't look like it should be much of an issue. But man, that thing will bite your ass quicker than you can believe. Especially if you go off the side of it and go down into the pond at the bottom. It's not a good day.
I mean, I run a lot of creeks, so I'm not afraid of the water.
The pond is reasonably deep for indoor course.
Gonna put some koi fish in there.
Oh well, so I thought about putting some goldfish in it, but the last thing I want is to dunk a truck in there and pull a truck out and dump the body out, and a goldfish falls out on the floor and starts flopping around. I'd feel kind of bad about it. So I
It
think
does
I'm
sound
just not. I think I'm just gonna
bad.
not do that. Yeah. Can you get a Lexan body rig to point out, or is hard body the way to go? You can absolutely point out a Lexan body. I talked about that a little bit last week for my class 3 truck, and I guess points would work the same for class 2. Where's the sheet? Here?
Did Tim cover a video on Lexan?
He did for class 2. He did do a Lexan and a hard body.
Nice.
The easiest way I can explain to point out a Lexan body is to have a 2-row interior, a 2-row cage, drivers, and some scale points. Realistically, I mean, this interior as it sits is like -24 or -26. So this is half of your entire class 2 and class 3 points right here. And then if you have a chassis mounted servo and a forward motor / transfer case, there's another 9 points right there. So, you know, you're well over the 30 point mark in just the interior and a forward motor mount and transfer case. So it's really not hard to get to 50 points. And you can do it without a roof rack, you can do it without a drop bed, and you can do it without sliders. So super easy.
That interior is pretty important.
Yes, the interior, if you're doing a Lexan body, you basically need to do a 2-row interior, especially if you're not going to do the roof rack or the drop bed or sliders. It's almost required. How much of a rectangle do I need for it to count as a drop bed? Hang on. Scale points. 2 bed, drop bed. Must meet or exceed the rectangle parameters per class. must have the majority of the floor intact with the exception of where the shock hoops protrude. C1 must have all protrusions covered. C2 must have protrusions covered to receive points, and C3 can have protrusions that are not covered and receive points. Must have bedsides. Realistically, it doesn't give you a like 2-inch by 3-inch or whatever dimension. It must be outside of the passenger area, separated by a wall, and it must be 1.25 inches deep. So, unless this specific class rectangle states, like for class 1, I have the rules in front of me. Class 1 side view, class 1 front view, class 1 top view. There's no actual dimensions given for drop bed size in class 1 anyway. So I don't imagine that there are for class 2 or 3 either. But it needs to be of a realistic size. Like, I mean, you can tell that this is a bed and you can tell that there's plenty of room for storage, but it's basically built inside the shock hoops. The shock hoops in my truck are outside these bedsides, and then there's a fender outside that. So it technically should count as a drop bed because it doesn't give, they don't give you a specified, it has to be 2-inch by 3-inch or anything like that. So they are making changes. I saw a post and I sent it to Tim. Somebody had asked about, they had a picture of the Endura Jeep body and the bedsides were more than a 1/2 inch in from the bedsides. And somebody on the SORCA committee said that they were reviewing the 1/2 inch from the bedsides rule. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I would much prefer them to review the 1-inch width on the wheel wells than the 1/2 inch from the bedsides rule, because if you especially if they shorten that from 1/2 inch to like 1/4 inch from the bedsides, if you have a 1-inch width wheel well, you're not going to cover the shock hoop with it. So I think they need to do something about the actual measurement of the wheel well, but we'll see. Love your bed. You should sell them. That bed took me hours to make out of styrene, and then I wrapped it with my Sorka Rules wrap. But I don't have the excessive time required to hand make beds like that for sale. It's just not. And it's real. I wrapped it because it's not pretty. It's not the worst bed in the world. Like, it definitely, like, I could have body worked it and painted it, but I didn't want to because I suck at body work. So I built, I built these fenders. They've got like a cutout in the side of them, and then I just wrapped it.
We could mail that to Harley, and he could 3D scan it and put it up on his put up the STL or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I made templates of it because I printed the wrap in pieces, like the top of this, top of the fender. I made a template for each of these, and I'd made a template for the sides. Like this, the wrap from here goes all the way around and wraps around to the tailgate. This is all one piece of vinyl with the cutout. So like, I have it templated. Realistically, I could, you could print the template on a piece of paper and cut the styrene and glue it together. So I guess technically I could just give up that file if somebody wanted to make their own bed, but I don't have the extra time to do them. Harley can throw some Flex Seal on it, yeah, for sure. I know it needs 1.25 inches for bed. Was going to build something like that, but was trying to think for C3 on a cab only. Yeah, well, this is my C3, and the nice thing about it was this is full compression, and so there is room above the tire, and this is fully steered, and it doesn't touch, and then full steered back the other way, there's plenty of room. So, like, this bed actually worked out really, really well for this C3, and I think after I mounted this bed on here that it's changed my mind on what I wanna do for the cab. How much for the template? If I give up that template, it'll just be a free download. It's not something that you know, it was just something I did for myself, so it's not like a product I was going to sell, so I'm not worried about that. I'll have to sit down and actually, make an actual file for it. I made a template for the wrap, but I would need to actually break it down a little bit further for a styrene template. Add the
Wonder
front add the
wonder
front
if
wall
you
and the
could actually
tailgate.
just print each section and CA glue it.
Print, like 3D print?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely you could. Yeah. Or you could just print the template on paper and glue that to styrene or whatever and just cut the styrene out. Yeah, it does the job. It doesn't look bad. It In person, this bed looks pretty decent, especially after I wrapped it. Like, I mean, I used styrene glue and like a slurry mixture on all the seams, so it's nice and sturdy. It's stout. It's not gonna fall apart. So, and
I don't
from
know.
from the rules,
I saw some falls at Cherokee Rock Village that might break that bed.
probably. Yeah, I broke my C1 bed there, but
The little send off of what was that class 2 course? The little jump
yeah,
off the rock.
yeah, yeah, that was a pretty good one. I would just have to mod it to fit the ATL. I don't think you would have to mod it very much. You would need to trim like the bottom, like the side. It's gonna be hard to show or hard to say on camera, but the camera.
That
Where's the
wrap
camera?
almost acts as like the photo trend pictures when they try and
Yeah,
get prototype pictures of cars.
exactly. Yeah, it
The
makes it
camera's like,
hard. So like this bedside, right, goes from the tailgate all the way to the front, and it also acts as the inside of the bedside here. So you would need to like trim down here where the arch would be on the bottom of the chassis, where the C1 Pro is flat. The Pro V2 is angled, so that you would need to trim a little bit, but I don't think it'd be that bad. Anyway, what's up, man? That beard looks great. Thank you. Are you talking about Wesley's mustache?
he's
He
talking
took my
about my
mustache.
beard.
Yeah, he's talking about your
Yeah.
trash. He's talking about your trash stash. Gotta be.
Crash that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I so this tailgate, the tailgate on this is one that Lucas Banks made by hand. All the letters are hand cut out of styrene in the brazen font.
Pretty jealous.
Yeah, that's where I got the idea of this bed from. I don't have the rest of it sitting around right in my eyesight, so I'm not gonna go dig for it. But he had built a bed somewhat similar. It was more square for like a regular Toyota cab, and it wasn't gonna work for this chassis. He had his based off of like a standard ATL, and it just wasn't gonna work for this build. So I stole the tailgate off of it for nostalgia and built a new bed.
Borrowed is the term.
Nah, I stole it off there. I broke
So,
I broke it clean
full
off of
on,
there.
full on still.
Yeah, full on broke it off. Looks like a
It
Pleurosaurus
fell off
wanderer
the
fender.
bench. Had to be reused.
Yeah, it fell off the bench and got sliced with a brand new X-Acto blade. Josh, if he's still in here, Mister Dull Rusty X-Acto blades himself.
I I might have a blade that me and him could compare and see whose is rustier. It's a good
I
thing they're
changed.
not sharp because they're so rusty. If it cut deep, it might have to go get a shot.
Yeah, I just replaced this blade because I score and snapped the SCX6 um,
The cliffhanger body.
cliffhanger body. Yeah,
Nice.
that
Where's that?
actually worked. It actually worked really well with a brand new blade. I made one pass across the entire, like all the way around it, and then I took my Lexan scissors and cut like the corners up to where I had scored, and then I was able to just snap the whole side of it all at once. Worked pretty good.
When I used to race short course trucks, I was actually very sad when I found out the scoring tech method because I just there so cut out each individual thing.
Hmm.
Absolutely sucked.
Yeah, I I'm so glad that I don't use Lexan scissors on all that stuff anymore. That was pretty bad. I like when I can tell which side is the sharp side. Yeah, pretty much. Whichever side has the bigger burr on it is the sharp side. Oh man. No, I can't do that. If I'm struggling to cut something with a knife, it's over with. This Kershaw in front of me is about to get retired because it didn't cut my finger the other day when I accidentally sliced across my finger. Yeah,
You
Team
like to cut
Lexans.
boxes towards yourself in that way.
Yeah, I mean, how else am I supposed to cut my gut if I don't slice towards myself, you know? I did that the other day. What was I cutting open? I was using like a regular box cutter, carpenter's knife with a razor blade in it, and I was cutting something. What was I cutting? I think I was cutting banding off of a box,
Ooh,
like the plastic banding, and
yeah, that
I had the blade in my hand, and I was like, "This is a bad idea," and like, pow, right in the kisser, right in the gut, and it just grazed me, and I was like, "All right, break time. That's cool." And then I forgot about it, and I got out of the shower that night, and my wife was like, what happened to your chest?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I looked down. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I stabbed myself with a gun with a knife earlier today. That was pretty good. That's pretty cool."
homeless man came into the shop. It was, I'll tell you later. I
Yeah, yeah,
didn't want to worry you.
yeah. Kershaw will sharpen the blades for free. Kershaw will not sharpen the blades for free. Kershaw will replace the blades for free, but there is a catch. Let me grab my other Kershaw. If you look at a Kershaw knife, on one side of the blade, you'll have a part number. This one's part number is 8700. Okay, so if this blade is the original blade to this knife, it'll have a part number. This particular knife has already been sent to Kershaw because it had a broken tip, and they replaced the blade. And the replacement blade does not have a serial number on it. So if I send this knife back to Kershaw again, they will charge you to replace or sharpen the blade. If it is the original blade, they will sharpen it for free. But if it's been replaced, they will not.
Details,
Most,
details.
yeah. I mean, things you learn over, I've been using Kershaw knives for 15, 17 years now. I've got dozens of Kershaw knives. Um, just things you learn over the years of sending them back. You send them back with a broken tip or a broken slide lock or whatever. Half the time, they just send you a new knife. But
I just use car keys.
yeah, is it
Done
less
deal.
is it less than a new knife? I mean, yeah. If you break the blade or whatever, and it's already been replaced, and they charge you for a new blade, it's absolutely less than a new knife. It's still worth sending the knife in to get the blade replaced, but they do charge you. The first time, the original blade, they'll warranty that for free. Even the shipping's free. So I got mine from the Snap-on truck. That's the same place that I worked at a power sports dealer for 15 years, 13 years. So all mine came from the Snap-on truck too. Never had a blade replaced. Yeah, when you break the tips off them, like I said, I've got dozens of them. At one point, I had 5 or 6 of them hanging on my toolbox, and when the Snap-on guy'd come in, basically like once a month, I would hand him a Kershaw knife and go, "Here, send it back." And for a while, they didn't care about whether the blade had ever been replaced or whatever, and they would just continually warranty the blade and sharpen them or replace them. But they changed that policy to basically be one blade per knife, and that's when they stopped putting serial numbers or model numbers on the blade themselves on the replacement blades. So,
Tough times.
yep. The first time the Snap-on guy came in, he was like, "Oh, you owe me $20 for your knife." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, they changed the policy. You can keep
Nice.
that $20 knife." Yeah. Anyway, there's your Kershaw lesson for the day. What's next?
Yeah.
I've never dealt with a CRKT. I just the Snap-on guy and the independent tool rep always had Kershaws, so that's what I bought. When they come to you, it's easier. Time to film the scale news. Enjoy filming the scale news, Harley. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us for 81 minutes already.
Not bad.
Not bad. Screw $20, I'll buy a whole new one. Yeah, except they're like $80 from the Snap-on truck. You can go to Dunham's or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever and buy them for 45, but they're 80 on the Snap-on truck.
Hey, you get 4 $20 payments.
Yeah.
Interest free.
They're only $18 for the next 27 months.
Yeah. Comes with a jacket.
Yeah. If you buy this knife, you get a free jacket and a hat. Here's another one, the Snap-on one.
Ooh.
And I always bought the. Oh crap! Now I'm not even gonna be able to remember the name of this knife, but I always bought the same knife. Scallion? I think it's a Scallion. I don't know. This one's plastic. It's got texture. Most of mine are the red aluminum anodized. I think I've got 6 or 7 of these. EDC pocket dump day. What pocket do you keep your wallet in? Since Harley left already, what pocket do you keep your wallet in?
Talking to me?
Yes, you fool. You're the one on the other side of the camera.
Hey man, well, I know Bear's right here. He don't have a wallet though. I pay for everything he needs. Maybe the right cheek.
Right cheek. That's where I keep mine. Harley keeps everything in his left front pocket. Wallet, car keys, freaking knife, everything in his left front pocket. What kind of sociopath?
I'm really hit or miss. If I know I'm gonna sit down after a little bit, it's gonna be front pocket. I'm gonna be on the front pocket game. I just don't like sitting like this.
My wallet is thin though, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a bunch of shit in my wallet.
Do we have a back specialist in here that can tell Brett that that's still bad for us? You're gonna get hip dysplasia.
When I come to the shop, when I'm in the shop, my wallet's in my cash drawer. But and when I'm driving, it's normally in the center console of my truck. But any other time, it's right cheek. Do you think the material is made in the same place as they hold the replacement? Those jackets are nice. As far as blade material, blade replacements, they all seem the same. I haven't had an issue with anything replacement wise. So, the only time I put my wallet in my front pocket is when I'm in a big crowd. Like if I'm not a big crowd person, and I've seen too much shit go down. So, yeah, if I'm in a big crowd or somewhere around a bunch of people, I'll swap my wallet to the front pocket, but otherwise I don't. Phone is in right cheek. Are you
That
trying to
was
bend? Are you
yeah,
trying to bend a phone?
yeah. That's what happened to me. I bent that mo.
My wallet, my phone is in my left front pocket. My beard comb's in my right front pocket. My AirPods are in the little pocket in the right. They fit perfectly in the little pocket.
Sounds
And
like
then
you need
my
some cargo shorts.
no, I have one thing in each pocket except the left cheek. Left cheek's always empty. Yeah.
That's the seat cheek.
Yeah, that's the side I sit on. That's probably why my back hurts. It's crazy. I'm gonna be 37 this year, and my back's gonna be 87. So probably because I sit on my wallet all the time. Keys on the hip? No, absolutely not.
You loop it through a belt loop. You got the chain. You have the chrome chain.
Yeah, pretty
Please.
much. Yeah. No, even my keys. So my truck key is only my truck key, and normally if this is in my pocket, the key is in the pocket, and the leather thing is out the top of the pocket. So like I know it's there. And then my house key and my shop key are on a Vanquish Curry anti-rock sway bar sway arm. Just two keys, my house and my shop. That's it. That's all I ever have. Two keys and my truck key.
Keyless.
Yep, keyless. So I've been doing a lot of we'll call it automating. Damn it, I'm gonna have to get up again. Son of a diddly.
I can hear your vertebrae shifting when you get up.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're straightening back out.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of things around my shop lately with these NFC tags. You seen these? It's just like a
Mm.
black sticker, but like on the backside, it's like an NFC chip.
Okay.
And this specific chip, if I hold this up to the back of my phone, it will open up the Brazen Scale RC website. And I have one on the counter of my shop so that anybody who comes in that's waiting on a bike or whatever that wants to log into the Wi-Fi, they just put their phone over the thing and it automatically puts the password into the Wi-Fi on their phone.
Look at that.
So that's kind of cool. And then people who want to pay for their service bills with PayPal, they can scan one and it takes them right to the PayPal Pay Me thing with all my info automatically in it. It's kind of cool.
Nice. Here I
And
am
like,
chiseling stuff out of stone, and you're in 2040 over there.
and these things are like super cheap. I think I this little thing from Amazon was like $15 or something like that, and there's a shitload of them in here. I think there was 20 of them or something for like $14.
Now, if you take someone's phone case off and stick it to the back of their phone and then put the case back on, will it automatically always
Always be trying to open the website. Maybe I don't
like,
know.
man, I unlocked my phone and I'm on automatically goes to the website.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, I
yeah.
got
I mean,
something for Crawlapalooza then this year. Then bring those with you.
yeah. I mean, you can do a whole lot of things with them. Like you can set them like you can put one on your nightstand or whatever, and you swipe your phone over it as you're going to bed, and it automatically sets your alarm and puts your phone on do not disturb at the same time. Like there's a bunch of shit you can do. I'm not a smart home type of guy. I don't think that you need to have Google Home or Alexa or any of that crap listening to you all the time. So I don't have any of like the thermostat control and shit like that. Like I'm just not interested in that stuff. But like I don't know, this I thought this was kind of cool. It's different than a ugly ass QR code. It's just a little black sticker. It just a little black dot, like 1 inch. I think it's like a 1 inch circle.
I'm gonna sit that by where Jason sits his phone at in his truck. So when he puts his
Yeah,
phone in his cup holder,
yeah. It automatically opens websites and stuff. And you can rewrite them too. So like, if you want to change what it does, you just update it. You can make it like make your phone say stuff when you scan across them too. Like you could rickroll somebody with them if you wanted to.
The the ideas are just swirling around in here.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do with them, and I just, for as cheap as they were, I was like, I'll try it, whatever. And I actually kind of enjoy it. I've been making all kinds of things, do all kinds of things around here. So, like shipping, you can I can automate the shipping process um, to input specific information when I scan it. So, like, if I am shipping something UPS, I can scan over this, and it would automatically input the UPS, UPS ground and package size. So, like, if most of the boxes we use are one of three sizes. So realistically, you could have three of these. Since I don't do barcode scanning, I can just scan my phone across this, and it will automatically input the chassis box dimensions with specified weight and size of box and things like that. Just make things a little easier. I don't know if it's any faster, but you don't have to
Feels
think
cool
about
to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You just,
Thinking takes time.
my brain has enough going on that I don't need to think about extra things. But I thought that this was kind of cool. Living in 2023.
What a time.
Did you know they still sell Squirt?
I was going to ask, is that a squirt?
There's a Squirt. They still sell Squirt in 2023. You can't buy a Sierra Mist, but you can buy Squirt.
I'm rocking the Mango Chainsaw Liquid Death.
Not bad. Not bad. They just opened a 7-Eleven down the road from the shop, and they've got Liquid Death.
All the flavors.
There. Yeah. Isn't there like a caffeinated ones now too?
Caffeinated? I don't know.
I think there is.
There was like 4 to choose from at my local store, so none of those were caffeinated. I don't believe.
Yeah. Squirt is awesome. I agree, Scott. I would like to build a high-low, but got to let the wife chill. When you buying too many, building too many new trucks?
Yeah, let the.
Yeah. The new sweet tea was not great. They have a sweet tea Liquid Death.
Not seen that one.
I'm bouncing between water and Squirt tonight for whatever reason. I'll probably have to pee as soon as I get off the live stream.
That was my main goal, is to not run away.
I've got my headphones in, so you guys could hear the whole process. Oh,
I got so many things I'm not going to say right now.
I can take the phone in there. It's mobile. You wouldn't see much.
No. Why is there an echo?
It's still cold outside, so you wouldn't see much.
No. Oh, man.
Oh, you did check that this is not for children, right? Because we're going to get demonetized for sure.
I did, yes.
We're not that we are monetized, but if we were, we'd be so.
Yeah, you talked about restroom etiquette in your stream. It's
yeah,
cutting
you
you
can't
off,
do
buddy.
that. Yeah, you can't do that. You're not allowed. So I had to change the tip on my 2mm driver the other day, and for whatever reason, they decided to use a 2mm set screw.
I love that. That's
2mm
so
headed.
Is that the dynamite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these dynamite drivers, dude. I've had this 2mm driver for probably 25 years, 23 to 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
This is one of the original ones that I bought. And like this is a newer one. This one I bought is a 332 for Vanquish wheels. And like you can just see the difference of age and wear.
One's pink, one's red.
Yeah. And I do use them as hammers as well. So like
everything's a hammer.
Yeah.
That 2mm tip can be in chisel sometimes.
It can be. And I have I think I have 3 of the 2 mil.
If you have like VP or MIP, they're never a hammer or a chisel though. But those the dynamite ones can be. It's an option.
Yeah, yeah. Be one of the office workers during COVID, only dresses from the top up. Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't it? I could. I mean, realistically, I could just lock the door and walk around here with nothing on all day if I wanted to. Just close the blinds and work naked. But I don't really want grinding sparks or metal shavings from any of the machines anywhere near parts that I normally cover up. So it's the last place I want grinding sparks.
We've now heard all of Brett's shop fantasies.
Yeah, yeah. I use 1.5 as pry bar, has gone through 4. I need to stop. I did that with this specific 1.5. I was mounting up a set of Shift RC wheels, and I was kind of trying to line up, trying to line up the beadlock ring, and might have broken the tip off of it in a shift wheel. Team Garage Hack, what's up, gang? What's going on, guys? Glad to see you made it in.
I think I'm gonna for next week. I think I'm gonna set up a green screen behind me and put my phone on the handlebars of my mountain bike and ride around and do the stream.
There you go. Whatever you want to do, boss.
I'll green screen the Kia lathe behind me.
Yeah, there you go. Just green screen like you're sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Still do that. Don't stand up. Yeah, don't stand up on your Zoom calls if you're not wearing any pants. Unless you don't want your job anymore. In which case, stand up. Fuck it. Full send. Oh, man. How's your job going, Wesley, with the retrofitting of semi-trucks?
It's pretty good. It's a drastic change going from flag rate to hourly, but it's a good thing. It's a good time. Learning a lot about charging systems and hopefully fulfilling the future of the trucking industry.
So you guys are taking a standard driven axle out of a semi and putting a hybrid drive unit in it, or what are you guys actually doing?
Yeah, so think MOA axle, but think semi.
So there's
The
actually
steering
an
part.
there's actually like an electric motor on the new drive axle.
Yeah.
Are you retrofitting the original axle, or are you putting a new axle in?
Trash. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, basically just making a Prius semi.
Okay. Well, whatever's clever.
Yeah, they're going for the long range because to my knowledge, all like the full EV semis, like 200 to 500 mile range. We're going for the long haul, like 1,200 plus miles. So until battery technology gets to that point, the hybrid, like the motor generator charging batteries, will be where it's at.
Yeah. I was actually talking to a local electrician the other day. He had pre-ordered an F-150 Lightning,
Yeah.
and he was talking about trying to see if he could find somebody to build. He's got a 28-foot enclosed trailer, and he was like, "Man, if I could get somebody to take and build a battery pack that went underneath the trailer like a Tesla
Plug it.
and plug it into the truck," he goes, "because I don't drive that many miles, away from the shop, but I pull a 28-foot trailer that could have nothing in it, or it could have 10,000 pounds of supplies in it and tools in it for a job, because they'll load the trailer up and take it to a job site and drop the trailer, and then he just drives the truck back and forth without the trailer until the job's done. But if they're doing a big commercial job and he's having to drag the trailer back and forth because they can't leave the trailer wherever they need to, he wants to be able to basically plug the truck into the trailer and have the trailer charge the truck while he drives. And then, I mean, think about realistically, you could have all of your electric tools or whatever uh, run off the battery underneath the trailer also.
How many M18 Milwaukee batteries does it take to get an extra 50 miles out of the Lightning?
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that would work out, but I mean it's a good idea, you know.
I
Kind of
see
like
all
this.
those Power Wheels with the you buy the
Mhm.
Milwaukee adapters, you plug in the
Yeah.
M18 batteries into them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm curious to see where, he should have that truck in the next 3 or 4 months. So I'm curious how he's gonna like it because, like I said, he doesn't drive that far. Most of the stuff they do is within, 10 to 15 miles of his shop. So realistically, he should only have to charge the truck maybe once a week at most, other than if he's pulling a trailer. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work out for him. And then his other buddy runs a landscape company, and I don't think it would work for him the way it'll work for the electrician guy because you know they drive a lot. But he was considering buying one as a personal truck. So
It'd be cool. It wouldn't work for my needs, but electric vehicles are pretty cool.
yeah, I as much as I want to say that it wouldn't work for my needs, it would work for probably about 90% of my needs. The one thing that an EV truck or a car would not do for me is pull a trailer as far as I pull a trailer. Or drive,
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, drive as far as I drive in the time frame that I wanna drive it. So, the last time me and Hibby went to Alabama, I looked at renting a Tesla to just drive a Tesla down, but it would have added 4 hours to the drive time, with charging. So, it wasn't I'm already driving 11 hours, I don't wanna make it 15. So and then pulling a trailer would have been even worse, so and driving to Alabama and Oklahoma every year, it just that will not suit my needs. But for everything else I do, driving back and forth to the shop, I'm only 6 miles, 5.5, 6 miles from the shop to home. So realistically, that would work fantastic for me. But I wouldn't be able to give up my gas truck, my internal combustion truck for an EV right now. Cat making power tools. Interesting.
Are they
It's pro-
yellow?
it's it's probably yeah, it's probably rebranded or a. I mean, I guess it could be a house brand, but now I know where you live. Laura, get out of here. Laura or Jason. It's probably Jason instead of Laura, but boss bitch Laura in the chat is the owner of the next power sports shop down the road from me. So I've got Jason into the crawler world now. So I'm gonna be taking all of his money from now on. It's Laura. Jeez. Okay, take back everything I said. Jason doesn't like rock crawlers. I'm not taking all of his money. Oh man. Yeah, rebrand is what I was thinking. Yeah, I think Cat probably would be rebranding tools instead of making their own, but yeah. Laura, the wrap on your truck looks good. I saw it when you went by the other day. I like that color. She's got the world's largest F350. Well, the largest F350 in the area around here. What are those? What size are your boggers, Laura? She daily drives a gigantic ass Ford truck on boggers. They're what 46 1650s or something like that. They're huge. You hate it? No, don't hate it. It's a nice gray color. Huge. Well, they're gigantic air horns. 44 19 526s. That's what I thought. Big tires. Big boggers
Jeez.
for the street. You can hear it coming from a long way away.
Hey, at the race yesterday, I saw a new Bronco with a big rough country lift, and it had 44s on it. On a new Bronco.
Stupid.
uh,
We got Sean and I got picked up from Palm Springs Airport when we went to King of the Hammers. They picked us up in a new Bronco. Nacho Lighting Company picked us up in their Nacho Bronco.
oh,
It has like a 3.5-inch icon kit and 37s on it. The most awful fucking vehicle I've ever ridden in my life. It was
The
like it was a hardtop Bronco, but
noisy.
I swear to you, this thing was worse than a soft top base model Wrangler. Wind noise, tire noise, seat comfort, it just I would never buy a Bronco. After riding in this Bronco for an hour, I would never buy a Bronco.
That's sad to hear. They look cool.
Yeah, they look good, especially that Nacho. It's a good look. It was an orange Bronco.
Mhm.
Decent looking decent looking Bronco, orange and black on black wheels, black 37s. I mean it looked good from the outside, but terrible, terrible vehicle. But the wrap was supposed to be black. It's definitely charcoal gray. I like it, but it is definitely not black.
Tim, were you getting that new Tundra or what?
Yeah, there you go. You should be trading in your Tundra and get a new one. How's
Get
that Lexus working out for you?
pretty good, man. Actually, I don't know. Did I tell you a deer randomly just ran into my side door?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's finally going into the body shop in about a month. It's a very long
How long?
time.
Yeah, lovely. Nice. You get your Lexus that you always wanted, and then all of a sudden a deer tries to
Uh,
commit suicide.
yeah, the glass on the doors are pretty good. I had to actually like buff uh, three antler streaks off the window, so it was full. Like if I had my window down, it'd probably be deer antler in my shoulder. So I'm pretty thankful for the nice Lexus window glass. Could always
Yeah,
be
that's
worse.
yeah. I've only ever hit a deer one time. It was in my black GTI, lowered black GTI, and it was at like 4 o'clock in the morning going down the highway, and a car passed me, and just as they passed me, I saw a shadow on the other side of them, and they blasted this deer and sent it like spinning across the road right in front of me, and I just jumped it. There was all kinds of deer guts and all kinds of stuff underneath the car hanging.
Total carnage.
It was nasty. It smelled terrible. And I was like an hour from home. Like obviously, I pulled over and looked at the car. It was like steaming, and there wasn't anything wrong with the car. It was just steaming deer.
The
Ugh.
actually at Gates Toyota, one of the days I was covering on the lube rack, I did this. I lifted this Nissan Altima up, and I was dry heaving because it smelled so bad, and there was deer fur and gore underneath. And then
Gross.
I went up to the dude, and I was like, "Did you hit something last night?" And he's like, "No, my daughter had the car last night." And I was like, "Oh, well, there's like animal parts underneath." And he was like, "Oh, she didn't say anything about that." So
Oh man.
I think she probably got into some trouble when she.
Yeah. Laura, thanks for checking in. I will see you around. If anybody wants to check out Laura's truck, it's Boss Bitch Laura on TikTok. You can't miss it. It's the big ass F-350 with jingle bells hanging from the back of it. But been thinking on jumping on the last call chargers. I have had extensive conversations with people recently about whether or not to buy uh Charger or Challenger or Hellcat or a 392 Wrangler or a ZL1 Camaro or something and park it because I think back to all the cars that my dad and my grandpa had over the years that if they still had those cars would be worth just dumb money now. But I don't know if these generation cars will ever have that type of intrinsic value that those classic cars have. So I'm hesitant to spend the money on one, but you could also get in on an F-150 Lightning or a Hummer EV, something along those lines, like a first generation. But I don't believe that those will hold their value purely because of the batteries. because
That's why.
when the batteries have failed, they have failed, and the car will be obsolete at that point. You know, even if you bought a brand new F-150 Lightning and parked it, you know, 15 years from now, the battery's junk and you can't get one, so the vehicle's junk.
That's why I
But
jumped on the Lexus because it's not going to be a V8 anymore. So I'll have the last V8 generation.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and you know, to buy a Hellcat Charger or Challenger a Durango Hellcat or a 392 Wrangler or a Trackhawk Grand Cherokee, you know, anything. If you think back to the late 60s, the horsepower wars between the manufacturers, that's what's going on again right now with the Camaros and Corvettes and the Chargers, Challengers, and whatever else Dodge wants to throw. Mopar wants to throw a Hellcat motor in. And those cars from the horsepower wars back in the day are worth a bunch of money now. So, you know, 30 years from now, is a Challenger Hellcat going to be, you know, as valuable as what a Challenger is right now from the late 60s
Look
or
up
early
the
70s?
look up the MSRP of a 91 Toyota pickup new, and then look up the see what they're fetching now.
Yeah. Yeah. When battery tech gets better, future hot rod guys will be swapping hot packs into them. Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know, would it be so if you had a numbers matching 69 Camaro right now, that would be worth a mess of money. In 30 years, if you have a battery pack matching F-150 Lightning, it's not like I can't see a future where that is going to be
Hey man,
a a valuable thing.
hey man, you said this was all numbers matching, but the battery pack on this Lightning says Gens Ace. This ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Tattoo R line, man.
Yeah.
It's a hot pack. Um, but you know, in 30 years, will a Hellcat Challenger have the same type of, even if it's not the same, you know, exponential value that a Challenger is from the 60s and 70s, even if it's not that, but you know, will it still have a decent value? And if it does, then especially like right now, it's the last call for the Challengers. So I mean, if what you buy one of the last years of the Hellcat Challenger, and yeah, you drive it, you enjoy it, you know, 15, 20, 30,000 miles, but you make, you know, you maintain it, you keep it clean, keep it ceramic coated, you cover it in the winter, you know, you do all the due diligence of maintaining it, and you know that could be your kid's college tuition eventually. I mean,
Watch out for those deer.
my kid's not gonna have college tuition. That's sitting behind me, but that's basically what that cost. Have you seen the new Bugatti? No, I don't pay attention that much to Bugattis and stuff. I'm talking 70s cars, not this new junk. Yeah, well, so I mean, I would love to have a 69 Camaro also, but um, I mean, a 2023 Camaro ZL1 may have the same type of value when our kids are our age to them, you know. That was dad's car. It's the same reason that freaking 69 Camaros are cool, because that was grandpa's car. You know, my dad just my dad just got a hold of my grandpa's 55 Bel Air convertible. It's going to be hanging on the rack here, hopefully reasonably soon, so we can go through it and get it going again. But that's why that car's cool, is because it was grandpa's car. It's not because the car has a bunch of value. It's just a piece of steel. But to everybody who has enough money to buy grandpa's car, you know, he used to pick me up and go apple picking. He used to pick me up and go to the movie theater. Grandma used to ride in the back seat, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you know, it used to cost him $6 to fill it up back in the day. But that was grandpa's car. You
There's
know
a
what I
40
mean?
gallon tank.
Yeah. Why is my phone at 20%?
I had to throw mine on the supercharger. I figured mine was going to overheat.
It says I just unplugged it, plugged it back in. It says 63%, but it just popped up and said 20% on the screen.
no.
Oh, maybe my headphone. It must be my headphones are 20%. We got about 5 minutes left anyway, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. I thought for sure this phone was gonna crash. See, you're making fun of the iPhone 8, dude. She's a trooper.
No, my phone's got 63%, so it's my headphones. I knew what that cost. We have 2 Mazaks in our shop. Yeah, I'd love to have a more powerful machine, but realistically, I don't need more power than what I have. I'm just cutting RC car parts. I'm not doing big heavy duty nastiness. Just making RC car parts. So
I'm still waiting on those 1-inch 2.2s so I can buy those Hyrax tires.
yeah, these I mounted these on 1/2 inch wide 2.2s, and that was difficult. Yeah, I need to vent these Hyrax 4.19s a little better. They are not vented very well. They come back to shape, but not very fast.
I run water, so I don't even know what venting is.
Gross. Gross. Not interested. All right. Well, anybody in the chat got anything else to say? Anything you guys want to see specifically before we call this a night? Chat's slowing down. We still got a bunch of people in here, but chat's slowing down. Speak up if you want to see something. Cutting drill pipe. Yeah, you need a little more horsepower than I do. I cut aluminum RC car wheels, so I don't need a whole bunch of horsepower for that. Although I have been doing some excavator and skid steer pins and bushings for grapples and rippers and things like that. Just attachments for skid steers and stuff like that for a local guy. What's the track width with your wheels? Hang on. My class 1 truck is on F10s, so that's a little bit wider than an AR45 portal. And these are F10 portals. Oh. And my specific truck outside to outside at the top of the tire is 9.1. I do have it towed out in the front, so outside to outside at the front is 9.2, but at the top it's about 9.1 on my class 1 truck with a 225 hub on an F10 portal. I think your videos are awesome. Thank you, Jason. Did you get my motor in yet? What motor? Oh, your Holmes motor. No, not yet. Not yet. I need to check on that, though. I will message John tomorrow and check on that. It took me a second to recognize the screen name. I was reading comments, not screen names. So, all right. Well, it's getting close to 10 o'clock here. I think it's time to bounce. We will, at least I will, see you next Monday. We'll do this again next Monday. If Wesley decides to join again, he is welcome to do so. It's a possibility. Get a little bit more chit chat this way. Love my C1 Pro. Thanks. Awesome chassis. Thank you for your support. I like my C1 chassis as well. So, thanks everybody for checking in, and we will see you on the next one. You can click the button.
If we're going.
Yeah.